Yay!
Yay!
I don't know. I think we're live. People can hear us?
Microphone? Yes.
Yes.
Microphone.
Check. Okay. Good. Yes. I see sound. Okay, fine. Cool.
Thank you so much, Ocean and Hawkeye, for the subs. We've just seen those come in.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hello! Good evening. How are you?
We
Podcast Cowek.
podcast Cowek there.
Yes, precisely.
We took a day off.
We took a day off. We took the
Which it
whole
being us meant-
entire day off, which meant we got up at
6.
butt crack 30 this morning because we went to the spa. Oh my gosh, you guys have hype trained on us. Well done. That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Day off. Yes, we went to, there is a
Lido.
a Lido, which is a fancy British word for outdoor swimming pool near us, which is also a spa. And it was very cold and drizzly this morning, so there were not many people in it. So we sat in the hot tub for an hour and soaked the heck out of my poor sore shoulder.
Thank you.
Oh wow, we totally hyped already. Wow, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. It's been a while since we did that. I'm very thrilled. Yeah, so we went to the spa and we sat in hot water and it was so nice. And then we got a massage, and I have a particular massage therapist at that place that I like because he's not afraid to lean the hell into me. And it felt very nice to have my shoulder pummeled professionally by somebody, and I really needed that. And then we had breakfast.
Yes.
And then we went to a movie.
Yeah, we went to see Quantumania, which is just the biggest of fun. It's a really good time.
It's very fun, and honestly, it's one of the aspects of the MCU that has been less centered recently. I mean, they've got a lot of plots to do, and they've got a lot of consequences of all the decisions and actions that I've taken to give screen time to, and I appreciate it, and that's valid. But I also enjoyed the fact that this was very shiny and weird and splody.
Yes.
Which was perfect. Perfect for an afternoon. And then we came home and you broke a ship.
Yes, because I'm currently playing Shipbreaker.
Which, yes. And I did not get to play Power Wash Simulator because you were breaking ships. But I have explained to Ursula today why it is I like Power Wash Simulator and introduced her to the fact that there is a Tomb Raider expansion for it.
And a Final Fantasy VII
And a Final Fantasy VII one is coming so that you can power wash Lara Croft's obstacle course. Which, while I'm listening to a podcast, is a very relaxing thing to do.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, there is a Tomb Raider DLC for the game Power Wash Simulator.
Which is you have to power wash Croft Manor.
You power wash things. You start with vehicles and then you start to do houses. But there is a free DLC, which is Lara Croft's Manor, obstacle course, trophy room, etc., etc. And there is an upcoming one that is Final Fantasy VII, including the Midgar Reactor and Fenrir and Tifa's Bar and all of that stuff. And I'm like, which is very relaxing for me. It's like a puzzle that you can always brute force if you need to. So you would love it, honey.
What?
I'm just sorry. And it's very relaxing because it's something I can do with my hands to keep my hands occupied while my brain is relaxing and listening to a podcast, which I enjoy. It's very fun. Sister's house means fancy TV that I can cast to watch stream on big screen. Hello from on the big screen. your McLarge huge. Yes, exactly. Are you like looking for the edges of the screen?
Yes, I am.
Yes, very
Yes.
well. Very mime-esque. Well done. And oh god, it's been a week. I can't remember what else gone on this week.
It feels like a lot.
It's all been dealing with this AI nonsense for me. It's just Power Wash Simulator is available for every contemporary console. So it's on Steam for PC, Xbox, PS5, Switch. It's all over the place. Well, Rebesco, you've already done all the combinations, so you know what we have or have not done.
I actually found
ourselves.
out today that on PC with this, you can actually go into the files and with a relatively easy fix, play on God mode. So you have every attribute.
Which I think of all the people in the chat, Rubesco's the one who should do that. Or is it Rubesco? No, Rubesco's working their way through all the different combinations. It's Hawkeye that's finished them all. Hawkeye, you deserve to play God mode because you have done every other potential combination. And then you can just tell us how it is.
Yes.
Yeah, let's...
It'll be like that episode of Futurama where Fry drinks $300 cups of coffee and just sees time.
Right?
You know.
So we have a couple questions about the AI stuff, and we're not going to do an opening monologue today because we want to be able to finish the chapter, and we want to leave a good long chunk of time for it, but I will explain to it. So plagiarism is a very common event, unfortunately, in short fiction magazine submissions, which is what we do. We run podcasts that are submissions like a short fiction magazine. So writers send us their stories and say, please consider it for me. But a lot of times we get people who lie and who go to stories other authors have published and pull them off the internet and then send them to us saying, hi, I wrote this, please pay me to publish it. So we have to do a lot of checks on our end to make sure that the people who submitted a story for us to publish actually own it and have the rights to do so. This week and last week, we got a level 1 hype train emote, and I will share it with everybody.
Thank you.
And that is amazing. Thank you all. These last 2 weeks in particular, one publication which is almost always open for submissions, which gets a lots of them and which processes them very quickly, named Clarkesworld, had to close for submissions because they have been inundated with AI generated fiction, i.e. ChatGPT. Somebody goes to ChatGPT and says, write me a science fiction story. And then people scrape that and deposit it for submissions. My understanding of the motivation for this is because there are lots of types of publications which have very automated payment processes once a story is accepted. So the theory for these spammers and liars is if I have ChatGPT or CBT or whatever it is, I don't know, chat thingy, if I have an AI bot generate...
Dickhead Skynet. I just think of it as Dickhead
Skynet generates 10,000 stories and I throw them all at Clarkesworld, then the chances are good that at least one of them is going to get through a filter. And once they clicked on the yes, I want this story button, the spammer thinks, well, I'm going to get paid instantly a huge amount of money, and then that's worth it to me.
Because that's what always defines it anytime someone talks about short genre fiction.
I was coming onto that, yes. But that means Clarkesworld has to go through 10,000 submissions. So they had to close. It made The Guardian today because this is becoming an increasingly large issue. It's become compounded now because, of course, there are a lot of AI tech evangelists who are like, oh, well, if the short fiction industry is having a problem with AI, we should develop all these other tools or use Duolingo or AI, or why are you afraid of AI writing fiction? It's brought worst elements out. My favorite analogy, and the one that I support and is the one that is most accurate, is by a friend of ours named Susan Palumbo. And that this attitude is electronic colonialism. It is people who know nothing about an environment deciding that they know what's best and that they deserve to profit. So they come in, they don't learn anything, they strip mine it for resources, and the moment they get any sort of accountability or resistance, they burn it to the ground and they leave. And so people are now trying to disrupt the science fiction, short fiction markets.
Joke's on you, losers. We're always disrupted.
But here's the problem, right? One, we thought of these ideas 40, 50, 60 years ago. So we caught you the instant you put your foot in our space. Two, your premise is flawed. There is no quick and fast money to be made here. And the thing that we're all struggling with now is that the only tools that we have that are reliable, and I'll talk about why they're not, other tools aren't reliable in a moment, are reactive. So I can create a ban list of people who I have identified as sending AI submissions to me, but that's reactive. It'll stop them the next time, but it doesn't stop them the first time. And of course, one of the tech dude bro solutions to this problem is, well, you should use these filters, or you should, create your own chatbot, or you should use these detectors. Any sort of technological solution to this problem presents what's called a barrier to entry. It disproportionately impacts the most vulnerable and newest entrants to our field, who are the people we are trying to actively encourage and support in submitting and developing fiction. These are marginalized communities. These are people who have intermittent internet access. Most AI chatbot scans, like plagiarism scans that schools use, will false flag work written by neuroatypical people because the way that they present their ideas doesn't match with the white, male, old, cisgendered bodies of information that have formed the algorithms that these AIs run off of. So we have huge, hideous systemic issues in the technology. And that's not even talking on the fact that this is a creative field. No one asked you to disrupt shit. The writing is the part everybody wants to keep. It's the other part that we need the help with the tech with. Could you help with that? No, you just want to come in and crap on things and take what little resources we have and run away screaming? Okay, great, fine, cool. So that is what we've all been wrangling with for the last couple of weeks. There are no easy solutions, and every solution that presents itself as easy is flawed in its assumptions, which is being championed by people who benefit from, those flawed assumptions being centered all over again. So there's a whole lot of work and energy going into this.
Now, sorry, you finish.
No, please go ahead. I was going to pause.
There is one thing which I'm going to jump in on.
It's
because
crap.
Firstly,
fuck off,
hi
dude,
Mick,
bros.
how you doing? Secondly, Mick raises a very good point. There is one, maybe two situations. There are two situations where this type of technology is actually the benefit that dude bros think it is all the time. The first one is in the iterative process. I have a friend who's an artist, and
a
concept artist, and she uses it brilliantly because she gets requests in from clients for work, and she goes, great, here are 35 versions of what you're talking about. Pick the sky from one, the background from one, the people from one, the land from one, the color scheme from one. They come back, and then she builds that herself. So essentially, it takes the drafting process down to 1 or 2. The other example is exactly what Mick's talked about, where people with no previous writing experience, but with stories they want to tell, need a hand up. Now, there's two sides to the coin. This is, as someone has said in the chat, what ghostwriters are for. Hi, it's me. I'm Ghostwriter. I've done that work a couple of times. But because the nature of this technology being so ubiquitous is such that you do have opportunities for this to actually help people out.
You have a counterexample to your fine artist example, which is you have another friend who is literally a concept designer for film, and he's now facing challenges where he goes into pitch meetings against other people because it's a pitch meeting. All you have is concept art. Other people are using Midjourney to generate concept art, and they're able to do that so much more quickly than he is, that he's losing a competitive advantage in his field because this technology's come in. And we haven't even talked about the very sticky, complicated legal issue that is copyright for AI generated material.
Thank you, because you've just unlocked something else, which is actually a ray of hope in this situation, and we really fucking need one, because these last 2 days have been a long week. A couple of years ago, I interviewed a guy who was a VFX artist and a tattoo artist. lovely dude, predominantly a tattoo artist at the time, because he'd done the practical effects for the first 2 years of The Walking Dead. Then they'd found CGI. And apparently the overwhelming majority of the blood on Walking Dead for 9 of its 11 years was CGI, because it could be done in a quarter of the time for a quarter of the cost, and it looked enough.
Yeah.
I remember the early noughties where every film thought the best possible thing you could do with special effects was horrible morphs, terrible CGI, weightless fight scenes, and it just sucked for about 3 years.
Hold that thought, Zoya.
And then suddenly it stopped because the technology got to the point where it was good enough.
And then it became cheap enough.
And it became cheap enough. And at the same time, physical effects houses started to come around the sides again, because studios found themselves going, this is bullshit. Get the guy with the fur.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff.
So you're going back to your point. You're right. This is a lot of people in the creative industries have their reactions have been shaped by the fact that this is the second or third time that some technology has come in to disrupt it. We're all reacting to AI the way we all reacted to NFTs, which is hell no, fuck off. The problem with that is AI is not binary. Is text AI generated if I don't know what to name my characters, and so I ask for just a list of names and I pick a couple and I make modifications off of it? What if I use AI to help me find a novel way of describing a very minor piece of world building? Like, I don't know how to, I need another way to say river. Help me find another way to say river.
What's the difference between it and a service like WordHippo that a good friend of ours uses? He's a book reviewer.
Or a grammar checker.
Or Grammarly.
Right?
Or a dictionary.
Right. There's a whole lot to unpick here about what's the AI being used for. Now, in the particular story scenario we're talking about, it's being used maliciously. It's being used to generate garbage content in essentially a DDoS style attack. If we bombard somebody with 6,000 times their normal workload, we think we're going to get in, get paid, and get out before anybody notices. And that's not how this industry works. Some of the other solutions that people are proposing are things that are absolutely anathema in our industry. For example, charging submission fees. They're commonplace in a lot of other fields, contests, and it gets my freaking goat that contests sponsored by billion-dollar industries can have the audacity to charge people submission fees. But it is an absolute verboten thing in fiction. Yogg's Law, money flows to the writer. Writers do not pay money to be considered for payment. Period.
If you ever want to see me genuinely glaze over with rage, watch as someone seriously and non-ironically suggests bringing back snail mail submissions in front of me, because I will stab someone in the fucking neck with
and they're dog whistles. The problem is a lot of these, well, we'll just go back to X or we'll just go back to Y, is saying we want to put back in place all those...
old and confused, basically.
We want to put back in place all those barriers that the rest of us have worked decades to get out of here, to make the field more open and accessible for a wider variety and experience level of writers. So when you tell somebody, well, we're just going to charge $1 and then you can get it refunded if you get submitted. But you've just made that market have to charge it, have to track it, have to pay it back, have to report on it for taxes, have to record it on their balance sheets. There's a lot of work that goes into just charging $1. It can't be done logistically. I mean, there's a reason we took EA nonprofit. There's no money. This was our strategy to try and elicit more help and support in doing important work for which there is not enough financial compensation.
Triffid, that is a perfect descriptor. Wider variety, not whiter variety.
That's
perfect.
Exactly it.
Good job.
So the more you unpick this, the less binary it is. And so while it's really easy for people to say, no, I will never use AI later. I'm like, okay, but you realize AI is just the digitized version of you talking to a friend and having them help you pick character names, right? You know, there's a lot to go into all of this, most of which is outside of the scope of responsibility or capacity of a small fiction publisher. So that's why it is just such a freaking mess.
So
that's Zalia, you're 100% right.
Yeah.
For some people, $1 is not an amount of money they can afford. It is not uncommon for a story to be submitted to 15, 20, 30 markets before it finds a sale. And that's in dollars. That's assuming you have access to dollars, you have access to US attached banking. If you're in Nigeria, making a $1 payment is a whole nother series of hoops.
And let's assume this stuff rolls out industry wide the exact way it won't. Suddenly you're submitting that story to 15 different markets, all of which aren't in your country. So you are paying 15 different postages to be rejected.
It's a huge participation barrier.
And I mean, we don't really have the time for me to climb on my soapbox and talk about the system.
I mean, we've been doing it for 25 minutes, so you might as well go on a little bit longer.
Okay. The big issue that I have in all of this is kind of to the side of everybody else's.
Excellent analogy, Hawkeye.
It is my firm belief that the creative industries, and I would argue maybe genres slightly more than others, have been systemically traumatized for so long, like a century plus. And the rate of societal and technological change has increased exponentially across the last decade in particular. That now the big thing that really, really gets me, the thing which has made me walk away from organizations, is an inability to comprehend the concept of empathy. And this kind of ties back around to what Mick was saying and what Zalia was saying, and my friend who uses this to iterate art. There are ways to use this in a way which enhances and doesn't shut out. And
it's not binary. It's
not binary. The phrase
empathy.
The phrase I stumbled across recently is the singularity has a ragged edge. It hits everything and everybody at a different speed. And I'm exhausted by the fact that genre fiction in particular, in every creative industry I'm aware of, is a machine built to run on the blood of the people who it relies on. And I'm talking everything. I'm talking conventions, I'm talking publications, I'm talking trade organizations, the overwhelming
music publishing.
Thanks
for the AI-generated playlist, Spotify. Now you're not even taking curators out of the equation.
Literally like 98% of the organizations which we have to use to exist or that we have to work for to exist don't care if we live or die. And because of that, the ones which have empathy, the ones which try and engage with people as humans, that try and understand kindness,
or just have intersectional awareness to be aware of, like, okay, well, this solution works like this. How is this going to impact a parent? How is this going to impact somebody outside of the United States? How is this going to impact somebody who doesn't have access to that financial system? Just thinking outside your own box.
Which is why I guess we'll have to go back to pen and paper submissions thing. Makes me so fucking murderous. Because I can tell you the states in the US the people who are saying that come from.
Yeah.
None of them are on the coasts. It's just, I mean, even if I was still pursuing short fiction, there are 3 markets in this country I could do it with, and one of them pays. One of them pays worth a damn. And that's just the UK. Right. It is a network of broken systems, and stuff like this not only reminds you that the network of systems is broken.
I'll get it at the break when we take a break, but there's a book you need to read. If you want to know more about this, about why this is the case across fiction, music, YouTube, any sort of artistic content creation, there is a brilliant book which I am making my way through, which is called Choke Point Capitalism. By Cory Doctorow and another individual whose name escapes me because he has a co-author and I cannot remember that other individual's name. I just remember Cory because he's in the science fiction community and we know him. Which talks about how rent-seeking behavior, moat creation, consolidation of access, bottlenecking, monopolistic behavior was developed and monetized. Rebecca Gabelin, thank you very much. To the point where the person in the chain who receives the least benefit is the creator of the work. And the section I'm working my way through now is the back about third one half of the book, which is what do we do about it? How do we unpick? an individual organization cannot solve a systemic problem. And that's the situation Clarkesworld finds itself in, which is it is at the forefront, it's at the brunt of this new approach to abuse of AI. And it cannot individualistically solve the issue for an entire industry.
Singularity has a ragged edge.
Yeah. With AI, the other thing I hate about this AI discussion is that whenever you look at it in text, it looks like Al.
Just
I'm
like,
stop
I'm sorry.
yelling at Alistair! Please, it's not his fault. It's really not fair, There's a very purposeful motive for the creators which detaches them from responsibility and ownership of the consequences. It's intentional.
Yeah.
It's very much intentional. That's why I frame it as it is a colonial mindset. It is about exploitation and the avoidance of consequences, which means that it has no it has no empathy in its core, which makes it an anathema to the arts, in my view.
And Mick's nailed it. If you are a member of the board of the East India Company in the 19th century, you don't see the horrible, horrible things which are being done to get you your money. You just see the lovely money and the lovely things it buys.
Right? And, that coming on top of
AI, Alistair isn't in it.
All of us trying to live full and productive lives through the fall of modern capitalism are, really struggling.
Now, that's a huge bummer. And it's a very complex and very naughty issue. And it's fucking depressing as shit. But
we are working on it. And one of the things that's nice about it is that we know that we have to have systemic responses to what is a systemic problem. And one of the positive and heartwarming things you should take away from this, and trust me, I can't tell you how many mailing lists and discords I am in right now where this is the topic of conversation.
Me too.
There are linking arms. Publications who are not in our industry are coming to us and saying, well, why can't we just charge $1? And we are all repeatedly and patiently explaining to them not only why we can't do it operationally, but why we won't do it ethically. And much like the formation of a union, we're all in it together, and there aren't major players that we have seen, at least so far, breaking rank and saying, well, I'm just going to sneak in here and get mine while they're getting theirs. No, we're not doing that.
And the one time that's happened recently, which was when Tor accidentally ran an AI cover on a prestige publication, the entire industry went, fucking really?
I'm sorry, you did what?
Really?
And then the response we saw was lots of other very big names with lots of voice and clout saying, and this is the clause that my agent just put in my contract that says you can't do that. Accidentally, I'm with you, Ozzy, it was a test balloon. I 100% believe that was a can we get away with it test balloon. And the unified answer is no. Now, one of the latest developments I learned today is that apparently a lot of these people are like, well, we'll just make our own magazine with all AI-generated content and AI voices. I'm like, great, brilliant, fine. You go do that. We encourage you to encounter the barriers to entry that we already face and to gain some systemic operational knowledge of the challenges this industry presents. Go get some empathy.
Have fun storming the castle.
Waiting. Not a problem, fine. And the other thing, of course, that I literally have a thing that I keep track of every week, which is how much of my time I spend volunteering. Because I spend a lot of my time volunteering because I'm one of the only lawyers in audio drama podcasting and one of the only lawyers in production, in fiction.
There's a brilliant line that was used to describe She-Hulk in a recent comic, which is Jennifer Walters, the person everyone in the Marvel Universe calls when they only get one phone call.
I am sometimes that person. Where was I going with the fact that I was talking about volunteering?
Volunteering, there is hope. You're seeing so many things kind of groups starting to steer together and push.
Right.
Every fucking thing.
And I completely lost it. If it comes back to me, I'll let you know. Strong, unified, no. Lots of education. We're all for Marguerite for She-Hulk. Wouldn't I love to be Jen? Wouldn't I love to be Jen? There is hope. We're all sticking together. We're not crossing our ethical boundaries. we're all working on this together. I spent a good chunk of time today speaking with the creator of Moksha, which is the portal that most of the science fiction magazines use for submissions, to talk about, okay, what are the technological solutions we can put in place? What are the privacy concerns we have to keep an eye out for? You know, all
Damn
of that
right she
kind of
does.
stuff. Huh?
She-Hulk wishes she was.
Oh, yes.
Damn right she does.
Yeah. No, she has so much better hair than I do. Woo! Don't despair.
No.
We're science fiction. We dream. Dreaming up solutions to the problems that we've dreamt of creating is literally one of the things that we excel at. And we have lots and lots of good people with creative minds in lots of overreaching fields who are all turning their attention to this.
There's a metaphor about which strikes me as maybe a helpful way to cope with the last couple of weeks, which is we've all been fighting fires for a very long time. Suddenly, with the AI thing, we've realized another house is on fire. And we've had that awful sinking moment of, oh, holy shit, this as well? Oh, fuck. But now the bucket chains are in place, and there are hoses on it, and we're dealing with it. It's far too much stuff is on fire.
It's one of the...
But nothing's unattended.
Passing the same $10 around and passing a bucket to put out a fire are the same set of skills. And since we have developed the former, we're quite good at the latter. And we're applying that creative outside the box thinking right now to make sure that as much as possible, we don't let this... We're not an industry looking for disruption. You bore me with your talk of disrupting creative processes. Nobody wants the creative process disrupted. We want you to find ways to disrupt the other processes that we have to go through. Like the fact that even though authors have traditional publishing deals this way, they're still expected to be their own marketing departments. Find me technology that'll answer my emails, schedule my tweets, respond to my scheduling requests, and find me 2 hours in the day that I can actually concentrate on the art I want to create. That would be a disruption I can use. You speeding up the process of 1 million monkeys on 1 million typewriters that 1 million people have to wade through. You don't impress me.
Pezzy, thank you from the bottom of my heart for including the period. We are at the record. And
we just read our open... Well, okay, fine. Let's give it 5 more minutes. This is our opening monologue.
And we also have 3 minutes before that. So
yeah. So anybody got any questions? Other than, why are people doing this? Because they think they can make quick money and they're wrong.
I would also have accepted stupid and greedy.
The other thing I would say is that short fiction is a big, developed corpus of text that is attractive to people who train AIs. But you got to be careful, because the vast majority of that corpus of text is male, pale, and stale. And therefore, you are building in all the biases that come with all that previous record of publishing that we have been trying so very hard to break.
To answer Foret's question, it's really easy. I stand next to her.
Ozzy is right. It is the newest fashionable. What? It is the newest fashionable grift. That's the other thing. It's a fad. They're going to get bored. They're going to realize they can't make any money and they have to do some actual work. And they're going to all... Happened before. It'll happen again. We're not impressed. We are at your... How are you as awesome as you are? We don't sleep. And then we do days like today where we're like, we're taking the day off to go to the spa. And it was very lovely. Even that DDoS approach of submitting so much one might slip through hurts my heart. I know. It's just sloppy.
You use the tools available the worst way possible, idiots. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Absolutely it.
Hawkeye, AI is the future in the same way crypto
is. It isn't.
It isn't. You're exactly right.
Thanks, Meg.
Rubesco, that's valid. It is a depressing circumstance, and so depression is a valid emotional response. Hopeful is also. I think what I would say is we have faced challenges like this before. We have triumphed. We will face challenges like this again, and we will continue to do the important thing, which is create art and share it with the world.
This is one of those.
That's almost literally human nature. Nobody's going to disrupt that.
This is one of those instances where Chuck Wendig kind of nails it, and the phrase "art harder, motherfucker" does kind of cover it.
Yeah. Right. Okay, there's our thing. We've got an ad break. We got to run, everybody. We'll be back in 3 minutes, and maybe we'll actually play the game now. But yeah, art harder. By all means.
Harder.
Art harder.
Make the thing.
It's kind of like talk hard, but art harder. Exactly. We're going to take a little 2-3 minute break and then maybe actually get started on the content of the stream. Thank you very much for this engaging detour. But yeah, go
You've earned this.
Go support Clarkesworld. Heck, support us if you like. You have. We appreciate it. Go read Choke Point Capitalism if you want to skill up on this area. And, give an author a hug.
10 seconds.
We'll be right back. That's the button that's supposed to make the ad go. Come on. Right, we've got about a minute left for the ad break. Yes, please, pets for the kitties. Good night to everyone who we saw departed. A big hug to Wendy, who is dealing with a migraine this evening. So love to everybody in Valhalla, which I will do my best to make sure goes up live as soon as the stream finishes. Speaking of AI, we are constantly getting false copyright pings on the streams because, much like people fraudulently submit short stories, they do the same thing with music. They tag sections of it and claim that it's theirs and put copyright strikes on it. We have to manually go through each time and deal with them. And
if somehow the copyright striker happens to be watching
the copyright striker,
the copyright striker,
the copyright, it's like strong. Not strong bad. What's it? Homestar.
Homestar. The copyright striker.
Copyright striker.
If they are somehow watching tonight, please stop.
Please, for the love of God, if I report the same piece of music as not a copyright strike, the same time every week for months, yes, boo, copyright fraudsters suck. Very much so. So, and on that note, should we wrestle with this horrible moral choice that we now have to make in our
sure it will be fine.
Right. Before we return to the game, a quick reminder.
Previously on Scarlet Hollow.
No, more than that. A quick reminder that we do have a Dramatis Personae if you need to remind yourself about some characters. And this chapter has all the content warnings. All of them. If there's a type of content you are concerned or need to check for yourself, it may be in this chapter. Please check out the link that we've put in the chat. Keep in mind that content warnings may include spoilers and that this is a branching narrative game, so that we may not encounter every content warning that is presented in the story. But be safe, make the choices that are right for you about whether or not there's a piece of content you want to engage with. The other thing I would say is that there are several folks in the chat who have played through this game more than we have. And so if there are very specific things that you need support about to know in advance, you might be able to let that known, and somebody may be able to DM with you to answer that question. Or, by all means, come back at Valhalla. We'll be here for you. You can get freaked out along with us once you've done what you need. Yeah, Hawkeye has volunteered to be extra content warnings for anybody who needs it, which is fantastic. Recap?
Previously on Scarlet Hollow,
Dong dong.
we visited Sybil, who explained to us that one of the people,
yes, good.
one of the people we are close to, is our enemy.
We don't know what that means. It was a tarot reading. It's vague.
She also then gave us some tea, and we were filled with the inescapable desire to visit the clinic and Rhys, and we did. And we felt called to the wall in the basement where the stone, similar to the one in the previous 2 chapters, was hidden, and we found it. We axed through the wall with Rhys's help, found the stone, witnessed the 2 brothers from, I believe, our grandmother's era, one of whom was reported dead in a mining accident. Who was not?
Well, I think he was reported to have died in the mining accident, but his
Body
body
not
was never
recovered.
found. But something's not gone there. Also, Primo Silent Hill reference. Perfection.
At which point Rhys started, and then, we passed out and we woke up in Rhys's basement, and he was fine.
Rhys was feeling really
He
good.
was feeling great. He was off his meds. He wasn't taking the stuff that the doc was sinking him anymore. And he was feeling fine. It's really, really good. And slowly,
started getting manic.
Yeah, and slowly less than human. And then very, very, very quickly, much, much, much less than human. Rhys is currently a wolf, bat, dog, demon who is about 7 feet tall.
Who is bent on revenge against his mother, who has been medicating him against his will.
With poison.
With poison. No, which...
It's poison.
Ricine.
It is entirely possible Rhys cannot be killed.
And Rhys certainly isn't human anymore. Or if he is human, he's not at the moment. We're not quite sure what's going on.
Rhys is out. The doc is locked in the panic room. Tabitha is on her way over because we called her.
We hope.
And
the doc has sent us into the clinic in order to get a stronger tranquilizer to try and knock Rhys out.
And then Rhys showed up.
Oh,
and Wayne arrived as well, and is currently fighting Rhys's paintings that turn out to be both evil and alive.
That's a lot. So, that's where we left things. Just a little light peril.
So anyway, how have you been?
Because I'm a potato. Right, alright, let's load this in. Yeah, so this is where we left things. That's Rhys.
Shall I?
Oh, God. I guess you're going to, aren't you? Oh, no.
I'm not dangerous. She's just scared because she knows she has to finally pay for what she's taken from me.
So now we have to make a choice. It says he has a point, Doc. I'm not going to let you kill someone, Rhys. Can't you two just get along? I don't feel like I should get in the middle of this. I just want to go home. I'm on Rhys's side. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. Wayne, help me, or remain silent. There's no way we're going to win. We spent a lot of time today discussing, oh God, what are we going to pick?
Wayne is far more mucal.
Oh, yes, he does. He definitely gives them different voices.
Wayne is far more mucal, and Rhys is far more barking.
All right, and I have to turn the music down. Just a second. It's a bit louder than I was intending. Where is my volume button? Yes. Wayne is slower, more confident. Rhys is very angry. I think we've decided on I'm not going to let you kill someone, Rhys, because morally that seems like the right stance to take. I don't...
We're just not going to let him kill someone.
I don't know how we're gonna not let him kill someone.
We're gonna bleed on him.
But it seems like the thing to do. So I'm not gonna let you kill someone, Reese.
Why not? She wasn't afraid I might die. Does she know those tranquilizers aren't going to kill me? Does she care?
Trust me, Reese. I've always been really careful with your medication. I want you to live. I love you.
Tell yourself whatever lies you have to, Mom.
Yeah, right, Mike.
Sorry.
Okay. Look at his face. Oh gosh.
If you wanted a good relationship, you had your chance. You decided to convince me I was dying instead of just letting me exist.
To be fair, my dude, exist how? Oh.
Don't try to spin it like some kind of crime of passion now that the consequences are staring you in the face.
Sorry, I need you to tone it down.
Okay, sorry.
It's alright. Is that Wayne behind?
His eyes are very glowing.
Wayne's eyes always glow. So Reese's eyes haven't really changed, but he's grabbed him. What?
Reese cries out in pain.
I'll do that.
What the hell did you do to my shoulder?
What's that in his hand?
What is that?
Look, Reese has scratched him. Hang on. Look. So Reese has harmed Wayne, and Wayne's got something in his hand. Something yellowy? Keen eye. You see, for the briefest instant, something coming out of Wayne's sleeve. Yes, I do. Just a flash of pale yellow, then it's gone. Slithering back into Wayne's clothes.
Oh, God.
My dude.
I'll handle it. Try to get somewhere safe. Until then.
You are messed up, my dude. The two stagger off down the hallway. Quick, grab the tranquilizers and head for the safe room. Well, we should grab the tranquilizers.
Grab the tranquilizers.
Okay.
Grab all of them. Go out to Tranquilizers or Us and get some more.
You're putting yourself out of screen
It's
again.
very difficult.
I know. I'm sorry. Move around as you need to. With powerful builds, you're allowed to help Wayne beat Reese up. Oh, interesting. Grab the tranquilizers. Thanks. You do as she says. The tranquilizers are easy to find, marked with a small square of black tape to match the key. She's certainly an organized woman. Head for the safe room. You make your way out of the medical storage room and back to the hallway, where Dr. Kelly disappeared. As you approach, Dr. Kelly heaves open the door, slowly breaking apart the mass of paint, sealing it shut. Hurry! I don't think I can keep it open for long. You slip past her into the safe room. She shuts the door quickly, though one of the little smears of paint manages to slip past her. Ooh. Ew! She stomps on it. Painted viscera splatters across the cement floor.
Gross and terrifying.
It sounds like Reese and your friend are still fighting. We probably have a few minutes before he gets here. Ooh, more explore options. Okay, I'll read them out for everybody. What is this room? You didn't walk me to the door after my exam earlier. You must have known I might have gone looking for something. Why didn't you make me leave?
Let's talk, Reese.
What's the game plan, both short and long term? While we're at it, any other secrets you're keeping? Or sit in silence and wait for Reese. Okay, let's start at the top. What is this room? Old x-ray room. Lead walls. Lead walls, wow. After I realized this whole situation was a possibility, I had the door reinforced with special remote-controlled locks. Glad it could finally come in handy. She's known this. She's known this and she's kept him here the whole time. You want to do this one?
Yeah.
You didn't walk me to the door after my exam earlier. You must have known I might have gone looking for something. Why didn't you make me leave? She sighs. There's something about keeping a secret for so long. It makes you paranoid. It makes you do things you know are objectively wrong just to maintain the illusion of your life. It isolates you. At some point, you just don't want to be alone anymore, whether you realize it or not. So you get sloppy. You leave things around you shouldn't, because that destructive little part of you wants to test the limits of how obvious you can be before someone is able to put two and two together.
Terrible news. Scarlet Hollow's worst doctor just made a really good point.
No. Well, she did make a good point, but it's of her own doing and her own demise. Yeah, folks, as you can imagine, the conversation we're about to have will have lots of familial content warnings and self-justification in it. So
if familial situations and abuse are things which are not things you are comfortable sitting with, could I recommend toast?
Yeah. Maybe a nice piece of toast. Nice piece of toast. I'm not blind. I can see that things are happening in Scarlet Hollow. Unusual things. I guess subconsciously I must have decided if there was ever a time to let someone else in, it would be now. Alright, I want to know what her game plan is. Alright, then what's the plan? Short term, long term? How long were you going to keep this up? Well, pump him full of elephant tranquilizers, then I lock him in here. And I somehow convince him to see things from my perspective. Yes, okay. Then we all live happily ever after. Okay, there's a lot of responses here. And if you can't, has that worked before? And if he manages to find a way out and kills you, so you're going to lock him away again, there has to be some other way. It's just going to make him feel trapped. Just kill him. Sarcasm. I see no flaws with this plan. Remain silent.
I am quite in favor of has this ever worked before, but I think that's because my favorite Venture Brothers line will always be, so let me get this straight. If you don't, someone doesn't instantly respect you, you murder them?
Yeah, I'm gonna say. Yeah. And has that worked before? He's never known the exact nature of his condition before. Maybe it was a mistake to hide it from him. But I thought it meant he could feel like he had more freedom, not knowing that if he just stopped taking his pills, he could become big and pointy enough to kill me. I'm going to have to revoke some of those freedoms now. He's not going to like that. But I think he'll understand, even if it takes time. Oh, wow. She just doesn't perceive.
Oh, dog. Oh, Doc.
I don't think he wants to hurt people. He just can't help what he is. All right, fine. Let's talk Reese then. Yeah, I bet you have some questions. Go ahead. I've got nothing left to hide. All right, we got a lot of stuff. I'll read them off and then we'll talk through them. When did you find out? How did he not know what he was? Why did you start poisoning? What is he? Was his dad similar? The relationship between you seems so difficult. How do you know that he's dangerous? How do you know that he's dangerous? Oh my gosh. Well, okay. Valid. Reese attacking Wayne is the only act of violence we've seen. But
Has talked a lot about killing her.
yeah. Okay, let's start with, what is he? At first, I thought he was some kind of werewolf. So did the chat. But if he is, he doesn't follow any kind of full moon rules or anything. Silver doesn't do shit to him. And you've seen what he looks like. It's just weird. I almost wish I could examine him while he's fully transformed. I'd be fascinated to know what happens to him or how his body does it. But he seems pretty hell-bent on ripping my throat out, so I guess that'll just have to remain a mystery. Lady. We were just talking about empathy. When did you learn out? When did you find out? When did you learn this? A little after he hit puberty. He had all the usual changes, then a few extra. Thickened nails, sharp teeth, elfish ears. I figured he might have some kind of genetic disorder. Had him checked out at a few specialists, but there was nothing obviously wrong with him. Then we had an argument, and he changed right in front of me. It was like nothing like what he is now, just a couple of inches and some facial distortions, enough to be noticeable. I was scared. You could see that, and he stopped. I thought it was a one-off, or maybe I hallucinated. But the second time, it wasn't as subtle, and it didn't go away as easily. That's when I knew for sure that this was something beyond my realm of expertise. I want to ask about the dad.
Yeah.
Was his dad similar? A strange little smile creeps onto Dr. Kelly's face. I wish I knew. Reese just kind of happened. I wasn't seeing anyone. I just woke up pregnant one day. I know how impossible that sounds. I'm a doctor, for Christ's sake.
You ever read The Midwich Cuckoos?
I keep having these weird dreams. Almost like sleep paralysis. Oh, Jesus Christ. God. Okay, we're gonna remind everybody of the content warnings. Wow! Like sleep paralysis episodes. Romantic sleep paralysis episodes. They were actually kind of sweet, but they were just dreams.
Oh, dog.
But then, all of a sudden, my period stopped. I got morning sickness, and 9 months later, Reese. Oh, God, okay. How did he not know what he was? I've been medicating him since he was 12. We've only had 3 incidents like this before, maybe 4, depending on what counts. This is the worst ever by far. He doesn't seem to understand at first that he just looks different, and I just make sure to stay on top of his dosages, so he rarely ever does. But I've been preparing for this inevitability. He's an adult now. There's only so much I can do to control him. And that's why you started poisoning him? She sighs. Can we stop calling it poison? Yes, it's poison, but the act of me giving him poison was not me poisoning him. I was trying to medicate his illness, to alleviate his symptoms. It started when he was around 15. I'd been giving him increasingly high doses of Klonopin, but his body kept adapting and his systems would come back, especially if we ever fought. He's a rage demon. Freaking rage demon. I couldn't keep ordering all those drugs. It was already suspicious, and I could risk losing my license, especially if anyone found out what I was using them for. Someone approached me with a solution. I took it.
Who could possibly, in the sleepy town of Scarlet Hollow, have suggested a herbology-based solution to a supernatural issue? How is the tea?
How is the tea? Oh dear. And I have been dealing with the emotional and mental consequences of that decision for since. Okay.
Yeah.
Who approached you and what did they say to convince you? She gives you a long...
Motherfucker, don't.
Hard look. Don't even, lady. I don't want to talk about that woman.
I think you just did.
But screw it, I might die tonight, so sure, I'll tell you. And that's all I have to say about that.
God. Fucking damn it, Dave.
Okay.
She dosed us.
We will not be drinking any more tea from that woman.
She fucking dosed us.
She's still able to exert enough influence in a real-world event to censor the information.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm abso-freaking-lutely doing a Mystic and book learning playthrough after this. Oh my gosh. Hawkeye says there is a way to get that not to happen, and I didn't put it together until a few weeks ago.
Civil is an anti-meme.
Or she's censoring any information that you might learn about her.
Stitch, if you've not read it, there is a stunningly good novella, which I believe is called There Is No Anti-Memetics Division.
You linked it in the full lit a little while ago.
Yeah, it is so good. Excellent.
How do you know that he's dangerous? I mean, he looks terrifying, but... No problem, Rubesco. Valhalla will await you for whatever dosage you want to...
Sleep well, buddy.
Bad choice of terms. If you want to come back to this in little tiny increments that work for you, no problem. Well, he wants to murder me, so that's clue number one. He's also a teenager who's angry. It's not like he's usually a violent kid. He's mostly just sad. Every now and then, we butt heads, and that's usually when this side of him comes out. Imagine if this happens any time he gets frustrated with anyone. Imagine he gets road rage one day, turns into a 12-foot-tall monster with 1,000,000 teeth, and rips somebody apart in the middle of a major metropolitan area.
Oh my God, she's Park Kent in Man of Steel.
Yeah, he's dangerous. Ooh, options. He's indeed a menace to society. That doesn't mean he's dangerous. I mean, you are the biggest threat to him. Why not just kill him? He's been kind to me, what you're doing is difficult, but it's necessary.
Don't you think it might be a
it
self-fulfilling
might be a
prophecy?
self-fulfilling prophecy. I can fix him. Remain silent. I do like that whole, don't you think it might be a self-fulfilling prophecy?
We've done really well in this so far, calling people on their shit in situations like this.
Don't you think it might be a self-fulfilling prophecy? You're locking him up because you're afraid he'll get away. He gets away when he's angry. He's angry because you've locked him up. Oh, don't preach to me. Is he a sweet kid most of the time? Absolutely. And Ted Bundy was sweet to the people he picked up off the side of the road. Didn't mean he didn't go ahead and slaughter them anyway. I know what my son is capable of. And it's my job to make sure he doesn't hurt anybody.
This is a beautiful off-ramp to the relationship between you seems so difficult.
That the relationship between you two is so difficult? Yeah, you could say that. He was such a cute kid. When I found out I was pregnant, I was terrified. I didn't know if I'd be ready. It made me love being a mom. It's not like it was gonna be sunshine and roses forever, no matter what. Kids grow up and they change. Sometimes it's for the worst. That's part of being a mom too. Doing what you can to make sure the child you brought into the world isn't gonna go around eating people. Right, fan artist, we need a Scarlet Hollow Mother of the Year award graphic, I think. All right. I'm gonna say, well, there's no point in saving here. We've extinguished all the conversation options. Let's just leave it at that. While we're at it, any other secrets you're keeping? You have it all. And you have no real idea how relieved I am to finally say all this shit out loud. Sit in silence and wait for Reese. Well, that's an interesting comment, isn't it, Stitch? If this woman became pregnant through supernatural means, kind of casts some interesting light about some of the other potential children of my approximate age in this town.
Yeah, we're circling back around to this town is a petri dish theory, aren't we?
Yeah. You and Dr. Kelly sit in silence and wait for her son to make his way to you. The sound of distant breaking glass cuts through the silence of the clinic outside the safe room door. Shit. This might be game time.
Yeah.
Dr. Kelly opens the door. The two of you stare out into the hallway. God, it's animated.
Is this what you were so afraid of?
I'm saving. I'm saving the game. Okay. Hand over the tranquilizers. This is our shot. The tranquilizers? Fine. Let's shut this down. Before Dr. Kelly can fire, a different shot rings out. Reese's body is thrown to the wall. Shotgun in hand, your cousin rounds the corner and trains her weapon on his writhing body. Tabitha, what are you doing here? Stop it! Let me sedate him. We can deal with this non-lethally. Are you insane? That thing was trying to kill you. It is I. Oh, wow.
This is a situation where our victim is a terrifying, partially skinned horse dude whose head is putting itself back together. I don't think we can kill him. I'm also honestly not sure it would take.
If we help Dr. Kelly, we're basically maintaining the status quo. He's an unresolved issue. And we didn't let the issue go unresolved with the seal, even though it came at personal cost.
Oof. That's very...
I'm saving again. Overwrite that save.
Well, he should leave Skull Hollow to go to LA to become a character actor.
All right, I'm going to cop out. We have to take an ad break. Let's take 2-3 minutes. You and I will discuss.
Okay.
And we'll be right back. Okay? Everybody, if you haven't moved since the stream has started,
Now's
get up,
the time.
have a little wiggle, get a drink
That's
of
a treat.
water. Does anybody need a snack or a little piece of cheese for your raccoon hand? Or does a pet need a pet? Or do you need a medication or a drink of water? Now's a good time to do it before we decide whether or not we're going to let Tabitha blow Reese's heads off. I don't think it'll take.
I don't think it'll take.
I don't think it'll take either. All right, but we'll come back in 3 minutes. Take a break, everybody. Stretch. Later on, I'm going to play from here forward and see what Tabitha does. You ready?
Let's do it.
You leap forward, placing your body between Tabitha and the whimpering Reese, his face already trying to stitch itself back together as he writhes on the ground. I don't think she can kill him. Petra, what the hell do you think you're doing? Okay, hold on. Don't kill him. He's still a person. Don't you dare. Wait, I'm sure we can all talk this out.
We'll just
Stare her down. I don't think our relationship is good enough that I can successfully stare her down.
Don't kill him. He's still a person.
Don't kill him. He's still a person. Person, my ass. Did you see his face? Both of you, shut up and help me drag him into the safe room now. You turn to see Dr. Kelly already pulling her son towards the open doorway. Tabitha swings the gun onto her back, huffily jumping in to help Dr. Kelly. It's not long before his regenerating body is sealed away behind the door. Not exactly how I thought tonight would play out, but at least none of us are dead. If you've done any permanent damage to him, you're going to be the one paying for the medical supplies, Miss Scarlet. You aren't seriously going to keep that thing alive, are you? It's clearly dangerous. What makes you think you can keep it locked up? It is my son, Miss Scarlet. And despite appearances, he is still human. I prefer you refer to him as such. And I've managed to keep him safely locked away and harmless for years. Sure, it'll be a little more difficult now that he knows about his condition, but that room is lined with lead. He's not going anywhere. Right, Ozzy? Is human? Are you sure about that? Are we talking about the same guy? Trust me. I've done genetic tests. He's human, somehow. And it's my job as his mother to protect him and protect people from him. It's not a burden I take lightly. You don't have to worry about him getting out anytime soon. Ooh, okay. Get off my cousin's back. She's the only reason you're still breathing right now. He's not some monster. He deserves to live, Tabby. He's a monster, but even monsters deserve a chance at life. Oh, that's a good one. And what about you? About when you die, Doc? What happens then? Reese is a good guy. He's just misunderstood. That's nice. Dr. Kelly bought us time. I'm sure we can figure out what to do about him later. I want to go home. Yeah.
For me, it's a toss-up between Dr. Kelly bought us time and what about when you die, Doc?
No, she needs to think longer term. And what about when you die?
Yeah, let's go with that.
And what about when you die, Doc? What happens then? Good question. If you're gonna insist on keeping that thing locked up in your house, you're gonna need a contingency plan for when he outlives you. I will figure it out. Figured it out before. I'll figure it out again.
Tabitha has the best sure Karen face I have ever seen.
Look at this.
It's leftover demon paint.
Yeah, it's all over the house. If I recall from 2 minutes ago, you would have been chomped in half if I hadn't stepped in. Are you going to just hope somebody steps in next time, too? One of these days, your luck is going to run out. Get out of my house. I don't need some kid to stand here lecturing me on how to handle my own son all night. I have a lot of cleaning up to do. You and your cousin leave the clinic. Dr. Kelly slamming the shotgun blasted door behind you.
Some people make entrances. Tabitha breaches.
The two of you make your way to the bottom of the hill, where Tabitha's car is parked along the sleepy houses of Scarlet Hollow's residential street. She places her gun in the trunk and turns to face you. You're alone right now? Is Stella still missing? I tried calling her a couple of times, but I kept getting her stupid voicemail. Yeah. The two of you are interrupted by the sounds of panting and the telltale jingling of dog tags. It's the militia! They've poured out of the woods to stand before you on the road. Shit, we're gonna have to remember their voices.
It's okay.
What the?
Scraps
was the old major.
Yes. You were looking for Gretchen, weren't you?
We found her and her person. They're by the side of the road a little ways through the woods.
They're both fine, but the human wouldn't leave when we tried to make her, and Gretchen insisted on sticking by her side, so we'll have to take you to them.
Hopefully you can use your people words to get them to someplace safe. The woods are crawling with those awful creatures. It's not safe anymore, not even for a human. Why do these dogs look so serious? We should get in the car before they eat us or something. Why wouldn't we tell Tabitha at this point?
Yeah, she's just shot her school friend who's now a horse-faced rage demon in the face. They found
Stella. Come on, we better follow them. I have a feeling they want us to follow them. They might have found Stella.
We're just going to be straight with them.
They found Stella. Come on, we better follow them. How do you know that? It's just a vibe.
It's just a vibe.
And you know I can talk to animals, and animals can talk to me. No time. No time, words. We go now. Run after them. No.
Tonight is a night for laying cards on the table.
I'm just going to be honest. I'm tired of not being honest. Didn't you know? I can talk to animals, and animals can talk to me. Why are you cracking jokes right now? Ugh. I don't know about following a bunch of stray dogs into the woods, but if there's a chance you're right. Okay, we'll take a quick detour. You let the dogs lead you into the wilderness, following on their heels as they take you to Stella. Before long, the trees thin, and you find yourself on a steep hill by a 2-lane road, lined on one side by sheer rock.
Content warnings.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a feeling that we're going to start talking perhaps about what happened to Stella's family, which is they were killed in a car wreck. So let's just take a quick pause here in case anybody needs a refresher about the content warnings or the list to them.
And if you need to step out for a bit, now
is... You need to step away?
Please do. We got you.
No problem. And in fact, I think I might just pop a little save.
Have a little save.
Have a little save for a treat.
And there they are.
Keep them safe.
You seeing your speaker?
Speaker. Nice. I leave. There, sitting on a log, staring mournfully out at the asphalt, is Stella. You watch her from the underbrush. Great, she's alive. Let's go. Jesus, Tabitha.
Oh my God, Tabitha.
You should go talk to her, Tabitha. She'd probably be glad to see you. I'm going to go talk to her. Let's go talk to her. Yeah, let's go. Remain silent. Let's go.
But if you do that, you might miss the opportunity for smoochies.
Well, I'm trying to get Tabitha to realize that people care and that she can care. So, I don't.
Let's go talk to her.
Let's go talk to her. I know you two like each
Aw.
other. Please, for the love of God, don't drag me into the middle of that. Ooh.
We have
Lots of options here. Yeah, I guess we kind of do, thanks, Tabitha. It doesn't matter what Stella and I have a thing. You two need to reconcile. We can both talk to her together. It's purely platonic. You should talk to her alone. You two need to reconcile. It's purely platonic, but let's go talk to her together. Maybe that'll be easier. I think this is the right option. It doesn't matter that Stella and I have a thing. You two need to reconcile. We can talk to her together. I know there is a lot of tension and yet vulnerability. I said no. I'm going to make this easier on both of you and just go home.
That is the most belligerent moment of niceness I have seen from her.
Well, you can't say we didn't try.
You tried.
We're trying. Before you can say another word, your cousin's already turned and left. I'm going to have you take over the...
You take a step forward, gravel crunching under your feet as you walk along the edge of the road. As you do, you turn to look back behind you. Tabitha is already gone.
Tried.
You sit on the log beside Stella and the adorable Doof.
Richard, my beloved. Petra? That ghost really did a number on you. I'm so sorry. What are you doing out here? Do I look that bad?
I thought it was kind of distinguished. I like that.
I bet you'd be answering your phone. I'm just so happy you're okay. That's my favorite option. Everyone's been looking for your things.
Things happened.
I'm going with this one. Notice her outfit. She's got the jacket and the ghosty searchy thingy on. I'm gonna do this one. Just so happy you're okay. Yeah. I don't know if I am okay. It's a little better now that you're here, but...
Stella faces you for a moment, desperate eyes, trying to force out words a part of her thought she would never have to say out loud.
This is where the accident happened. My parents died on this bend in the road. They were taking me to college. I was lying in the back seat. It had just rained and the sun was finally coming out. Like that it's animated. Yeah.
Oh.
Be careful, folks. I think this is going to be pretty graphic. Oh. Please fade. Please. Nope.
No, we're not. Ah, Jesus. Okay, that's rough.
Oh. Sorry, I know that's probably a bummer to talk about. It was awful. It really messed me up for quite a while. I think I'm still messed up. There's whole years of my life after the accident that feel like they just never happened. Like every time I try and remember them, it's blank. I have all these videos sitting on my channel that I don't even remember filming. It's scary. At least, it hasn't been that bad for a while. Thank God. I've never talked about this stuff before, not with anyone. Take your hands, Stella. I'm so sorry. I knew about the crash. I should have put it together. Not even Tabitha. Thanks for letting me in. Say nothing. I'm just gonna hold her hand.
You reach out to her, taking her hand. It's warm against the cool night air, and the skin of her knuckles is soft. She finally tears her gaze from the road, her sad eyes meeting yours, but the hint of a smile creeps up the corners of her mouth. Her dimples start to graze. Aww. Her hand shifts, her calloused palm fitting into yours, her grip tightening. Strong and comforting. You can tell she feels held. So do you. The two of you stare out at the road.
I think the accent is probably why I got into ghost hunting. I think I just wanted to see him again. I wanted to know whether I even could. I never found anything, so I eventually gave up. Then last night happened. Oh, crap, this poor kid.
Oh my God, Stella.
And I ran out here to see if maybe it would happen with them too. Even if it meant seeing the crash again, or seeing them all messed up and dead. I just wanted to see them. It's been a whole day. I don't think they're coming. Oh, man. Okay, so let me read you these options.
God,
We have a bunch of explore options, which are put an arm around her shoulder. We could always wait a little longer. Just because they weren't there, it doesn't mean they don't love you wherever they are. They're probably somewhere better than whatever hell Charlie got trapped in.
So that's the dick answer. Okay.
It's good they're not coming. You don't want them to be ghosts.
That's the
They died with your future on the mind. It's time for you to start living it. Do you want to say goodbye? I still don't believe in ghosts. Charlie was probably just swamp gas or maybe something. Jesus God. I kind of like the idea of just maintaining this whole, I'm going to be physical grounding for you and you get to make the calls here.
Yeah, that's a smart play. Only pick one or two of the explores. I think the physical grounding makes sense.
Yeah, let's put an arm around her shoulder.
Carefully place your other arm. Ooh.
Oh!
Oh, feelings. Around her shoulder and pull her close to you.
You want me to continue?
Yeah, please. I'm done.
You feel her chestnut hair against your cheek. She smells a little sweaty and a little sweet, the faded scent of her shampoo mingling with the natural perfume of her skin. It's nice. You take in a deep breath, stroking her arm with your thumb, letting her lean into you. She rests her head against your shoulder, closing her eyes serenely. That hint of a smile spreads into a barely contained grin that finally chases away the worry. You don't want them to be ghosts. Just because they weren't there, it doesn't mean they don't love you.
I think that's one of the good options, yeah.
Yeah. The dogs did say it's not safe for us to stay out here, so I don't want to do the we could always wait a little longer. Just because they weren't there, it doesn't mean they don't love you, wherever they are. That's a nice thought. I've thought a lot about what might come after, whether they're somewhere else or if they just stop existing. I guess we've seen at least some evidence of the afterlife. I hope that means there's a good version too, where they're still on that car ride, listening to Dad's tapes with a place in the back seat for me when I eventually catch up to them. And then it won't matter that I never got to say goodbye. I like the idea of you could always say goodbye now. You could always say goodbye now. Stella sits in silence for a long moment, her breath slow and even. Oh, God. I'm sorry all in advance. This is going to be hard. Goodbye. I love you. Don't worry about me. I'm going to be fine. Oh, gosh. She's silent again, as if waiting for a response. But it never comes. But she smiles, a lively glimmer returning to her sad eyes. Oh, Abby, what are you doing to
Abby!
me?
Oh my God!
I kind of feel better.
Oh.
You guys!
Oh!
You're destroying us! Thank you for being here. Oh.
This is so good!
Oh. I don't think I realized how much I kind of trapped myself in my own head. Thank you for breaking me out of it. She straightens up, stretching her neck. Gretchen hops down from her lap, tags jingling in the quiet night air. That is a very sweet little smile. When watching the ghost, its expression hasn't changed.
I know that, Stretch. That's the time to go home, Stretch. Thank the Lord, I'll be sleeping in my own bed tonight. Thank you, Petra, for talking sense into this girl.
We should probably head back, right? I haven't really slept in a day. She doesn't need to hear about this.
Are you sure?
Are you sure? Oh, I'm very torn.
So you've just had this beautiful moment, and so one of your oldest girlfriends is a rage demon.
Right, you know, I'll tell her tomorrow.
I'm not sure which one of the
Let's save.
Esteemed folks from,
from
Black Tabby.
Let's just have yet another save.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one of the Esteemed folks from Black Tabby are on the other end of the account, but holy fucking shit. You folks are amazing.
Also, I wonder if
you
you just like watch Twitch for like, okay, who's getting to the end of chapter 4?
And
Let's see
boom!
the emotional fallout. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just don't think the next thing we should say is, and when he friends is a demon Hulk.
You are both amazing.
Oh. She doesn't need to hear about this tonight. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
Becca Loves Games, hello, we're so glad to see you. The VOD Howler is definitely worth checking out for this, because this one is a lot.
It's a lot, and we probably shouldn't try to recap it just real quick, but
it
very
is.
major decisions were made. I'm going with she doesn't need to hear this tonight. If it becomes so important that she needs to know this tonight, we can catch her up very quickly.
Yeah. You keep the events that transpired at the clinic to yourself. At least for now.
We'll tell her tomorrow over pancakes with Avery.
I mean, no one else is dead, so you know.
Touch wood.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I don't suppose I could ask you to walk me home. Oh, I'm so going to flirt, but I'm going to read all the answers for the people who are listening. Flirt, I'd love nothing more. Of course, lead the way. Sure, we're both headed that way anyway, but then I'd better get back home. Tabitha's probably worried.
Or just
start
walk off.
Just
Good Lord.
walk off. Oh, no.
All right, bye then. You know.
I'd love nothing more. You offer her your arm.
Aww.
Okay.
Yeah, she smiles, slipping hers into the crook of your elbow. She pulls you closer until the skin of your forearm brushes against her side. Yeah, just following up on what other folks have said, the subtlety and nuance of the acting.
And the expressions is really
Good grief. It's about time. Let's not waste another second sitting out here in the middle of nowhere.
And this is me. Okay, do I see...
No ditchlings.
I don't see any ditchlings around her house.
I do see a potato.
Do you want to come in?
So much.
Oh! Tip! Dialogue options marked romance will start a romantic arc with the character you're talking to and will lock you out of romantic arcs with other characters. We've hit the commit point.
I'm fine with being locked out.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Fun. I have to make a decision about who I'm going to romance when I do my Mystic book learning playthrough. And the answer is Oliver. Yes,
I love that KP's like, romance.
Yes. It's time for the dating sim. Oh, God, we so deserve it. It's like the underlying narrative has sidled up to waggle eyebrows at us. We are delighted. Hello. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. I was hoping you'd ask. I'd love to. Yeah, I feel the same. Wink. Yes, please. Follow her inside. Those are all romance options.
I should really head back to the estate. I have no capacity to feel joy.
Or sorry, Stella, I think it's better if we just stay friends. I know that option mechanically has to exist, but how very dare. Okay. I'm going to say I was hoping you'd ask. Yeah. I was hoping you'd ask. I'd love to. Tear down the wall achievement, and this is a dating sim, right? Achievement.
Stella ushers you inside, a barely contained grin threatening to split into an excited smile.
Look at the princess on her spot. Nothing in the house seems to have changed. I'm just gonna go take a quick shower because I've been sitting outside for a day and I need soap.
I think we're about to get a visit.
I'll just take a minute and then we can get cozy.
She is blushing.
She is. It's very sweet. I think let her go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like shower together is the appropriate vibe at this point. Don't.
She hurries off, leaving you and Gretchen in the living room. Finally, I have been reunited with my bed. Gretchen hops onto the massive pillow that serves as her dog bed, curling up and sighing a heavy dog sigh of relief. I can catch up on my beauty sleep.
Oh, Gretchen, I love you so much.
Before she has the chance to fall asleep, a heavy knock startles her and you. Gretchen growls.
Oh, crap.
Safety safe!
Gretchen doesn't like very few people.
Yeah, one of them doesn't have a face.
And yeah, one of them doesn't have a face, and the other one turned into an evil bat werewolf. Wendy's not on stream tonight, so she's not going to turn into a pumpkin in 15 minutes, so we might run a little long tonight, folks. Just saying.
There's someone at the door. It's that horrible man who smells like rotting meat. Stella! Stella! It's right. She's in full balk. I do not think we have seen her balk yet.
Stella is literally in the shower.
Did Wayne always have that accompanying sound effect?
A little bit, yeah. Open the door. Who is it? Oh, there's nobody home. Stand still and pretend you're not here. That's not going to work. Yeah. Who is it?
You know who it is. Open the door, please, Petra.
All right, motherfucker. I kind of owe him. He did kind of help me.
He did a bit of a solid. There's still nobody here.
Fine. What do you want?
You summon the bravery to cross the room and open the door. Wayne cocks his head, the stained veil over his face fluttering in the slight breeze outside. He is soaked in someone's blood, and I'm fairly certain it's his.
The outside of his clothes are streaked with what you at first
God.
thought might be gore. You quickly realize it's actually paint. And there are wide claw marks down his shirt. Yet we saw him take damage from Reese. But he's still in one piece after his altercation with Reese. Right? Close the door on him? Wayne, I was so worried about you. Dude, get out of here. I'm in the middle of something. Stare at him in silence. I was kind of worried about him. I'm not going to lie. Wayne, I was worried about you.
No need to worry. The boy managed to catch me off guard.
Why do you
with
sound so
those
gooey?
little constructs of his. But he wouldn't stand a chance against me without little tricks like that. I won't keep you long. I know you have a warm bed and a warm body to keep you occupied tonight.
What? Who? What? Ugh. I totally understand why people like romance him.
But I wanted to give you a suggestion for tomorrow. You should take advantage of Tabitha's absence at the estate.
Oh, God.
Forbidden places won't be forbidden without her around to stop you. Do a little exploring.
Didn't we have a theory that sibling
Yep.
we think is
Yep.
somewhere? Oh, crap.
You might be surprised at what you find.
I think there's another seal in the house as well.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I hope one of the dialogue options is, we found a goat in the greenhouse, because I still don't know the goat. Honestly, this is good. This is hopeful, because it means that the next chapter is exploring the hidden room in the house and not going to deal with the rats at the church. With the child.
Yeah. No, thank you. With the rats.
No, thank you, please.
He slowly steps back, shining eyes fixed on you as he disappears into the dark night beyond Stella's.
Still no ditch. I think they run away from him.
Gretchen's growls escalate into barks. Intruder! Monster! Fiend! Oh, Stella, come quickly! There's some disgusting smelling man trying to threaten us!
Calm down, Gretchen.
Look at her little ears.
Were you just talking to somebody, Petra? Uh, I'm not lying to anybody. I'm done with lying. Yeah, she's in a towel. Hello. Wayne stopped by. I think he tried to spook me, but he also kind of gave me a clue. He's still following you. Are you sure we're safe?
I think he's on our side.
I actually think he's maybe on our side. You think so? I guess that's good. I still don't love the thought of him stopping by unannounced at odd hours of the night, though. But you'll let us know if he tries anything, won't you, Gretchen?
I'll tear out the throat of anyone who dares break in to hurt my precious Stella.
Assuming I'm awake.
Assuming I'm awake. If they bend down to within biting height, that is. But I can always tear at their ankles until they have no choice. Gretchen snarls, yapping fiercely.
Look at her little indignant face. That's right, Gretchen. You're the most vicious little geriatric pug there is. You know, the thought of your creepy stalker, whether he's on our side or not, makes me feel a lot better about having you around tonight. It'll be nice to have somebody next to me if I get scared in the middle of the night.
Clearly, Stella just clicked flirt.
Hello. Yes, she did. Speaking of, I'm exhausted. Let's turn in. Just give me a second to finish drying off.
Stella disappears into her room for a brief moment, and then her door creaks back open.
So, you coming in? Flirt, 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 flirt. Ew.
You walk by Stella and into her bedroom. She gently closes the door behind you. Of course.
Oh, sorry I didn't clean up beforehand. You can think of it as receiving the authentic Stella experience. Oh my god, look at her room. It's a nightmare. Weren't we in here earlier looking for
Yes,
clues?
we were.
This is where I feel better about the fact that we did not go through her computer. Yes?
Yes.
Good. Okay, good. Whoa.
She slips
hello.
past you and lies on the bed, dressed in an oversized t-shirt. You are quick to follow. She's warm, still slightly damp from the shower, her skin fresh and flowery. She turns to look at you, smiling, dimples creasing at the edge of her mouth.
It's a nice cheesecake picture. You could kiss me if you wanted to. Immediately
fall asleep. I do kind of love that there are options that could be viewed as Aero.
I do like that there are other options for
Yeah.
physical or not. I'm totally gonna kiss her though. Hello.
You shift closer to her and close your eyes. A magnetic pull of anticipation rolls down your spine and across your skin, and for a moment that seems to last forever, you take in every detail of the world around you. Forested scent of her eucalyptus shampoo, and beneath it the slightest hint of campfire, the comforting heat of soft but calloused hands against your cheek, the thunder of your hearts beating ever more quickly in unison. The tension rises and rises, a tone seemingly without peak.
Nicely done.
Very nicely done. And then it breaks and her lips touch yours. They are fresh and minty and soft, cool against yours and guided by the gentleness of someone looking to hold on to the memory of tonight for a long, long time.
Very well written.
And then she pulls you closer, tighter. The two of you lose yourselves in each other. Eventually, the two of you break away and open your eyes, gazing at each other from opposite ends of the pillow. drift off together, limbs entwined, exhausted and safe and comforted.
Very nice.
Tomorrow may bring some new horror, or it might not. But whatever happens, you'll face it together. This is the end of episode 4.
All right.
Follow us on social media to stay up to date on the rest of Scarlet Hollow's development. What did we get?
We got one called Benoit Blanc. Hang on, I'm gonna have to look at my achievement. We got 3 different achievements all of a sudden. Which I don't know how to do from inside the game. Which I will check. Okay, we finished episode 4.
Buddy died.
But he died.
Buddy died.
I don't know if it's a good thing that Reese didn't die.
I mean, if you wanted to look at it that way, Tabitha...
Thanks, Stitch. There's an accomplishment for finishing the chapter with each trait.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
I mean, if you wanted to look at it one particular way, Tabitha tried very hard to help Reese die.
Yes. I know what I'm doing tomorrow night, which is I'm going to replay the ending from the point where you can choose whether or not Tabitha kills Reese and if that actually sticks. And there was another detective character named in there as well.
Oh, thanks. Cheers, buddy.
It really work that I catch you doing games like this, but I always love it when I do. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
That's
Cheers, buddy.
Glad you could join us. Nobody died.
Oh my god.
And we ended on a nice, relaxing, romantic moment. So it's okay the fact that it is probably unlikely we're going to do any shenanigans tonight because it's already midnight.
You did so well with that, and now I will carefully open your chest, rip out your heart, and stamp on it sequence.
Hang on a second. There we go. We'll go back to the main camera. That was a lot. That was delightful. Poor
Which trait changes the
Stella.
ending with Reese?
Changes the ending with Reese. So now I've got the feeling. Thank you very much, everybody. It was good. The writing is so good. It makes it really easy to do. Oh my god, what a horrific thing to have happen. And I gotta admit, I kind of expected Stella to be into ghost hunting because of a loss.
It's a formative trauma.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. I'm letting it all digest. I'm like, you are Scarlet Hollow, Mother of the Year. Yeah.
So can I talk you through what I'm seeing?
Go for it.
I'm seeing 3 opposing forces.
Okay.
There are the awful things. The rats in the church. The smears. Reese's dad.
No, hold back on the smears. I mean, there is an element of supernatural for sure, but it has lots of different forms of manifestation. There's the ghost, there's whatever's happened to Wayne, there's the ditchlings, there's the fact that Reese can... go ahead.
When I say the awful things, I mean the things which orbit the darkness which has clearly tainted this town and appears to have a controlling intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
Then there is Sybil, who I'm about 65% certain isn't that darkness.
No, that would be too easy of a reveal. Or if she is the darkness, she's a manipulative and difficult kind because she told you she was the evil. Because she told you there was an evil that you hadn't spotted.
And then there is whatever Wayne represents, because Wayne knows a lot more than he's letting on.
Wayne knows a lot. And Sybil knows whatever Wayne is and is not threatened by him.
Yes.
Or is working with him or is keeping him going.
I agree with Endwich completely. I think there's a very good chance that Sybil is...
I don't think she's body hopping. I think what Dr. Kelly said about that woman thinks she can live forever is literal.
That she literally can live forever.
I think she is... But my concern with that is I guess it doesn't make sense with Tabitha, not Tabitha, with our other friend who's missing, who's not missing, who was sick.
Kanika.
Kanika.
Someone was just saying in the chat the possible. Sitch was saying that you could read that as Sybil dosing her daughter to keep her out of harm's way.
Or Ozzy says, I suspect Sybil is grooming Kanika to be her new body. Body hopping might work. And in which case, who's Tabitha? Is she the grandmother who outlived her daughter, her grandchildren, her parents, etc., etc.? Yeah, there are hints that Enoch did something to save Teddy with a witch, and we think that Sybil is either the descendant of that witch or the current body of that witch. And I think if we're going with a body hoppy theory, I think Tabitha is Edwardine. But there's just
so much.
Yeah.
We are full.
There's just so much. We're only 4 chapters in. There's 7 chapters total.
We're 4 chapters in. We know an awful lot about what's going on, and I think we're just going to get
emotionally annihilated.
Payoff
after payoff. I want the next chapter to start with all of us, all the Scooby Gang, having pancakes in the diner, because that's the thing I missed. Because of the injury from freeing the ghost, we didn't get to do the final explore option, which was the diner and the striking workers.
Yeah.
So we're out of that loop. So I really want to go to the diner and see Avery and Kanika and everybody. And I'm worried that Kanika's ill. And I'm worried that what Kanika's ill with is whatever Sybil is dosing her with, because now we know dosing teenagers is apparently a pastime in Scarlet Hollow. Oh. This game is so good, and it is so well written, and I love it, and it tortures me. It torments me. Oh, all of you on the Valhalla, I hope you have a fantastic, wonderful time with this. Oh, let's see. Presumable main points of upcoming chapters. Chapter 5, chasing the rats at the church.
Chapter 6, we still have Avery's party to come.
Oh God, Avery's party. I totally forgot. And then day 7, we know, is the funeral, which is Halloween itself, isn't it?
That's going to be off the chain.
The funeral / ritual / fulfillment of all of this.
Stitch,
I
given
don't know.
that we've seen Reese now, I think that's legit. I would not be.
Yeah. Theories about what Reese is fine.
We put the fun in funeral.
Sleep paralysis. It's a vampire, isn't it? Well, he doesn't match the symptoms of a vampire.
Reese is an incubus.
Incubus, yeah. Demonic. It was my guess as well. Given that there was the kind of sexy influence, a demonic descendant makes sense. But that's weird. Right? Because what does a demon in Scarlet Hollow have to do with the Scarlets and the witch? I mean, the connection is the one old definition of which is those who truck with demons. So, but if we take the whole Sybil is the center of the evil, magical, whatever, then what benefit is it to Sybil that Dr. Kelly had an incubus child? Or actually, there is a gender-neutral term now. I know it, but I don't know it off the top of my head. That is not incubus or succubus, but there is a gender-neutral term for sexy demon. I can't remember what it is.
I wonder if whatever the Scarlets did opened a door and left it ajar for unrelated dark things to sneak through.
Concubus. Thank you very much,
KB. That tracks, because that would map onto my theory that there is some central guiding intelligence behind all the dark stuff. And it actually feels more plausible than that.
The idea that there's just been a door opened and therefore we have leakage.
Town's polluted.
Well, in more ways than one.
It's supernatural
with the
pollution.
mine and with the political unrest and with the density of deaths, and that might explain the ditchlings if they're attracted to ill portents, and there's a bunch of things that are all fermentating at the same time.
Ducky, that is a very smart find.
Mares, which are
race.
sleep paralysis connected. Yeah, exactly. The idea of this where the nightmares come from. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the house is on a big cliff. One thing that intrigues me is that with the exception of the player's mother, no one can leave, right? Everybody we've talked about trying to leave is either gaslit and says that they decided to stay, or in Stella's case, drastic action was taken.
I
to
had
have
not
Stella
put that
stay.
together until just now,
Right?
and you are absolutely right.
What?
Stella was stopped from leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And
Kanika left but came back. And we blood ties are the most logical assumption there, and Kanika has ties to Sybil, but who does Stella have blood ties to that made her not be able to leave? She's not a Scarlet. Yeah, we got a complete insufficiency of fathers being discussed here, and now we have one possible explanation for why, which is very cuckoos. What's the
Midwich Cuckoos?
Midwich Cuckoos. Very
Midwich Cuckoos is a John Wyndham novel. It's not my favorite one. That would be The Kraken Wakes, but it is the one which has been most. It is the one that has been most commonly adapted, including last year. An odd event happens in an English village. All the women within a very small area fall instantly, spontaneously pregnant. The children are not human.
Right. So that's a possibility here. That's the other excellent question, Triffid.
Yes,
you are correct, which is, but if Stella's not Stella, if our mother, the protagonist's mother, left, how? Was the cost of her leaving the idea that the kid had to come back and that circumstances
that would
had
tie
to
very
be,
much into how much
right?
of this game is about the sins of the previous generations.
Yeah, which ties in nicely with the idea of the mine and the company town and the. This thing is so good.
This is so well written and so well produced.
Yeah. I don't think it's gonna end very happy.
I'm now fairly convinced of two things, and the first one is I don't.
Triffid, don't get him started on the rig. Don't get him started. Didn't you review it for Full Ed?
Not yet.
Oh God.
I'm now reasonably.
Short answer is yes. He did see it. He loved it.
That moment in the second episode where someone asks the guy who's reading Kraken Wakes what it's about, and he says, "A failure of imagination."
I heard him cackling
myself.
from the other room. Yes. Right, we should wrap it up there, folks. We've already run very late, and this will be a long VOD, and I want to make sure that I have a little bit of time to ensure it is live for everyone who had to step away, who can come back to it, and because I'm going to bed, but you all have time zones left to go. Quick, where can you can take your headphones off if you like.
I'm styling them out at
You're
this point.
styling them out. You're comfortable now.
You can find us next on Friday when the Full Lid, our frequently award-nominated pop culture newsletter, goes live. It's going to have some stuff in it. Some of it's going to be Only Murders in the Building, which we inhaled all 20 episodes of across about the last 5 days.
Which is so podcaster meta. It's delightful.
Then
absolutely delightful.
On Sunday, we will be continuing with Stray. With the further adventures of the Cyber Kitty and their little robot chum.
We fell asleep in the library.
Had a little nap.
That's where we left things, which was very, very sweet.
Oh, thank you, JJ.
And then
on next Wednesday, we'll be doing something else.
Something else, apparently. I just don't know what that something else is yet. You will find out when we know. We'll let you know on Twitter. When this stream is over, Ducky, are we doing show notes tonight? If you don't have a chance to do it, that's okay too.
And if it is just vibes, so many vibes,
that's
totally legit.
That's totally valid too. I think that's all the places we're coming up this week.
Yeah, it is. All right.
That's it.
I've been Alistair.
I've been Marguerite.
And this has been fantastically good fun. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you on Sunday.
Have a good one, everybody. Bye.